Welcome to the review of the Resident Evil movie. I am your favorite reviewer, Eli here, to finally review this movie at last. We all know about the Resident Evil franchise has been around since 1995 or 96. Actually, Resident Evil started in 1996 from its first game to be truly terrifying. That's the reason why we love the Resident Evil franchise in the first place, is how scary and frightening it is. And the main characters, like Jill Valentine, is a strong survivor, and so is Chris Redfield, exploring a haunted mansion with their great ancient leader, Albert Whiskers. Which, spoiler alert, he's pretty much the main villain of the series. But we don't see him until, what his evil plan is to get rid of our main heroes. Unfortunately, I'm not talking about the original Resident Evil video game, or the remake on the GameCube, which I'll get to another time, next time I play it. I'm talking about the Resident Evil movie by the same people that brought you almost the Silent Hill movies. I reviewed the Silent Hill movies so long ago on Dorothy Martinez, or Rick Martinez. So I'm finally going to review a movie franchise that started all being good. This one, the Resident Evil movie that started on the year 2002. The film does start out promisingly perfect, that the virus starts spreading, the antivirus that the Umbrella created, and trapping all the people in one building and starts being contagious, and starts to be controlled by the Witch Queen herself, which is the girl, throughout the whole franchise. This movie starts out promisingly, intensely perfect, and doesn't waste time, just like it got done 20 years ago. So we're going to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Resident Evil franchise. Fortunately, we don't get to see Jill Valentine in this movie. We get the main character of this movie, Alice, and that's her name. Just plainly Alice. I don't remember what her last name is, but this is not the only time we get to see her, nude in most of these movies. So I count the numbers on how many times it says happens, and throughout this entire series of all movies. She's kind of like a test subject of the Umbrella Corporation. She used to live a perfectly good life until they held her captive, and she has no choice but to survive and act like an ancient assassin warrior hero. She has to wear primarily the red dress throughout the whole movie, and boots, until in 2007 she wears fully black leather. She teamed up with Matt. They used to live a pretty good life and gets captured by them and force them to do all kinds of test powers. I do know about the movie pretty well. It's them trying to survive and try to find the antivirus and stop it once and for all. But that doesn't happen until like the final chapter of the series, which I'll get to another time for the other movies. Basically, this movie's about them trying to stay alive, even try to defeat the Umbrella Corporation for good. So, the company stars are Brown. It explains about everything about the gasoline that infected everybody, turning them into mindless zombies. So I go down to the center here at H2, aka headquarters. There's to solve the problem and try to help many survivors as they can. But they don't know what's going to attack them down there. They have to investigate the problem and help most of the people. And most of them did not survive. Well, I do know about this movie's franchise that there's like horrible creatures, like the hunters, the Cerberus, aka zombie dogs, on some most deadliest traps. That's like the laser room. And it gets worse from here on out. It has like very impressive special effects, like 20 years ago. Especially right here. Quite nasty, isn't it? First time I saw this, it was impressively and gloriously perfect. Another city. Excuse me. Essentially, the building they're in is full of deadly boogie traps. Yeah, exactly. I was getting to her. I remember the Red Queen is basically the one that controls the place of a rich person's granddaughter that takes over the place. Even she says, "You're all going to die in here." So they'll find a way out before it's too late. It's very a survival film based off the video game franchise to investigate the problem. And this is where they first encountered the undead. And she's like the unliving dead. Amongst them all, the virus affects them all, even on the feast on their flesh. So, Team Stars had no choice but to shoot them all, and lead to gory, explosive fracture. In other words, expensive explosions. It's like that this movie cost like almost $1 million to make. Sure, they acted as well as possible, making this entire scene worth it. I've been waiting to review this movie for a very long time. Creating a cool, awesome scene of Alice has great karate technique and can fight pretty well. As she knows martial arts. She has the ability to fight, only zombies, but a deadly, evil-fisted dogs. I'll give it some credit. The effects on these monstrous beasts looking quite brilliant. And her using a gun for the first time, very perfect. The soundtrack that goes with it is stupendous. And that's why Alice is the best character in this movie, that she's the main character. Well, besides her, the other ones try their best to be interesting. The acting of this film is very absurdly acceptable. It's promisingly, courageously terrific. Without giving too much away, you have to see the movie for yourself. You know, I usually review like the whole entire thing, but this might take a little too long because I'll be busy playing some games later. So, in other words, this film is about knowing about the Red Queen's secret past happened to her mother. They're pretty much like the rulers of the entire place. But like he said, they are not. They are in the work for it underneath their belongings, which makes it a very unique sort of in the work for it. Quite promisingly approved then. Indeed. Yes. When she says that they want to feast on the fresh and endlessly income amounts of them, of the undead zombies. They want to feast on their bodies. Also the scene where he tries to sacrifice his wife. If he actually did not shoot himself, he did try to shoot all of them. This is pretty much the reason why I love the Resident Evil franchise movies. Some of them were great, some of them weren't doing too well. I say this film is really quite uniquely a quotable, my favorite kind of film. It's just how they maybe affect the monsters in this movie are very uniquely gorgeous. I just love the idea on how they make this movie very, what's in the word for it? Enjoyable. I just love all the cast members in this film pretty well. Some of them betray one another. Some of them get what they deserve from being traitors and get punished by the creatures called the lickers or hunters. And the effects of those monsters looks incredibly, the word for it right now, things to say, realistic. Without giving not too much away, it's very good. Pretty awesome. It's very much impressive. Most impressive film. I do love how the movie ends with a cliffhanger that you know they're going to make another one. And another and another. Some of them were good, some of them weren't as great as the first one. This one I would enjoy watching a few more times, and then watch the other ones and see which one is better than the first film. You'll have a great time watching this film. It's basic story of them surviving. It's just a survival film. It does have some scary parts. It has some brilliant action. It does have its tender moments. It has one of my favorite scenes of the film. Alice keeps on being naked in most films. A little bit too much view more times in a row. Not to mention this film is like 100 minutes long. Always have her as a test subject is like having a little mouse. Goes wandering around the maze. It's very much my favorite type of horror or movie franchise, next to Silent Hill movies, which are only 2 of them. They were planning to do a 3rd one, but it's already been nearly 10 years since then, so I doubt they'll do another Silent Hill movie, because the actors that played them already got older. But still, this film is really worth your time. Even money. Whether you like big movies based off video games or not, this one will give a solid 7 out of 10, and of unique, impressive backgrounds. And perfect soundtrack, and a few little Easter eggs here and there, like that word Raccoon City, based off the 3rd game. And it's wonderful or glorious effects ever made from the 2000s timeline. So you'll definitely enjoy the Resident Evil movie as much as I have. I say it will be totally worth the watch. Thank you all for watching.